Today in RE we're going to be learning about what Jesus' life was like. We're going to be finding out who his family and friends were, what he did and what he was like as well. The angel Gabriel visited the Virgin Mary and told her that she would give birth to a son and she must name him Jesus. Shortly before Jesus was born, the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus decided that a census had to be taken throughout the Roman Empire. For Joseph and Mary, this meant leaving Nazareth and travelling to Bethlehem. After they arrived in Bethlehem, Mary was ready to give birth to Jesus. As there was no room at any inn, Jesus ended up being born in a stable. After Jesus was born, a star appeared over Bethlehem. The Star of Bethlehem attracted visitors from the east. These visitors believed that a star marked the birth of a new king. When Herod found out that the visitors were hoping to find and worship the newborn king, Herod ordered the deaths of every infant boy in Bethlehem in the hopes of killing the king that the visitors had spoken of. On hearing King Herod's orders from an angel, Mary and Joseph took Jesus and escaped to Egypt. They lived there until King Herod died. After the death of King Herod, Joseph, Mary and Jesus returned to the small town of Nazareth in Galilee. When Jesus was 12 years old, he and his parents travelled to Jerusalem to celebrate the annual feast of the Passover. When the feast had ended, Mary and Joseph became separated from Jesus and they went on a search for him. Jesus had gone to the Lord's temple and spoke with the people there. They were amazed by how much he knew. When Mary found Jesus at the temple, Jesus said to her, "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know that I had to be in my Father's house?" A relative of Jesus, John the Baptist, attracted crowds out in the desert where he preached and baptized. He told them that he was preparing the way for a greater teacher, Jesus. Jesus left Nazareth to be baptized. John the Baptist baptized Jesus in the River Jordan at Bethany. Soon after, Jesus went into the desert for 40 days without food. There, the devil tried to tempt Jesus 3 times, but he didn't give in. After the devil left, Jesus returned to Galilee and made Capernaum his home. Jesus chose his disciples and performed his first miracle. Jesus recruited his first followers, Andrew and his brother Simon, who Jesus called Peter. Then he recruited 2 more brothers, James and John. All 4 were fishermen on the Sea of Galilee. Next he recruited Philip and Nathanael. He would later end up with 12 disciples. At a wedding in Cana, Jesus performed his first miracle by turning water into wine for the wedding party. Jesus continued to teach in synagogues and miraculously healed 6 sick people across Galilee. Huge crowds followed Jesus, but religious leaders were upset by his teaching. They began to challenge him and question his authority. They started to plot to kill him. During the Passover celebration, also known as the Last Supper, Jesus gathered with his disciples. He knew that this would be his final meal that he would share with his disciples before his crucifixion. Jesus and his followers entered the Garden of Gethsemane on the Mount of Olives. His disciples were sleeping for the night when a crowd of Roman soldiers and Jewish officials showed up to arrest Jesus. One of his own disciples, Judas, betrayed Jesus and told the soldiers which man was Jesus. Jesus was arrested, he stood before the Jewish and Roman authorities charged with blasphemy. The Jewish authorities demanded the death penalty. Jesus was crucified on Good Friday. He was taken down from the cross, wrapped in clothes, and placed into an empty tomb. A large stone was placed in front of the tomb to close it off. The Romans had the tomb guarded to prevent anyone from stealing the body. The next morning, a follower of Jesus, Mary Magdalene, went to visit the tomb. She saw that the stone had been removed from the front of the tomb and that the tomb was actually empty. The body of Jesus was gone, and the only thing left behind was the cloth that had been used to wrap his body for the burial. Mary Magdalene remained by the tomb crying. Then she turned and saw a man standing near her. Magdalene soon realised that the man was Jesus Christ. Jesus had risen from the dead. Right, so what I would like you to do from what you've learnt about the life of Jesus, I want you to create a fact file. I've given you an example of what it could look like. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, it's just to give you an idea. I want you to write a small paragraph for each part of his life, around his birth, his early life when he was about 12, and then his later life until the point where he died on the cross. I want you to include any of the dates that are on the slides, and obviously write things in sequence so they're in the right order. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me, and good luck.